What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, if you see something that you like here today, please don't forget to subscribe at some point. Those of you stopping by that have been here before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So today I figured we'd go ahead and cover the fragrances I've worn the most this year. So far anyways. Stay tuned. So some of these are not going to surprise you because you see them on my weekly rotation on a regular basis. So I actually did rank these from 10 to 1. And starting off at number 10, the one that I did wear several times right after I got it when it was still wintertime, Dior Homme Parfum. Probably my favorite cold weather fragrance. Definitely my favorite Dior fragrance. Oh man. And one of my favorite fragrances overall. It's getting much more difficult to find. I don't know what the situation is with the newer 100 milliliter bottles that are supposedly the same batch code and same juice. Those were only sold over in France, over in Europe. I don't know if they're still available overseas or not. I'm sure there are some bottles out and about, but as far as over here in the States, it's getting much more difficult to find, and people that have them are asking a lot of money for these bottles, especially these 75 milliliter bottles. 200 plus on eBay is pretty much what they're going for at this point. I paid $115 a bottle, $110, $115 a bottle, which was, you know, about retail roughly. Beginning of the year, end of last year, beginning of this year. Glad I got 2 bottles when I did, because now the 2 bottles I paid would barely get me one, and it's outrageous for that money. Don't get me wrong, it's worth it. This thing's great, but outrageous. If you can find a good price on this one though, oh man, is this a good fragrance. Whew. Love this one. Can't wait for it to cool off again so I can start wearing it again. So at the number 10 spot, Dior Homme Parfum. Next, this one's found its way in my rotation a few different times. I love wearing this one because it's got such a crisp ginger up top. It's very bright and fresh with neroli and iris. That soapy Prada L'Homme DNA. Prada L'Homme Low. Such a good one. This is such a good fragrance. I've worn it several times already this year. Whew, man, for this time of year, hot like it is, if you like iris or soapy fragrances in general, this is some good stuff right here. Don't sleep on Prada L'Homme Low. Man. Probably gonna bust this one out here in the next week, because every time I look at this bottle, it makes me want to wear it, because it sits right over there on the corner of that shelf. Every time I see it, it makes me want to wear it. And then smelling it right now, floating in the air, it's such a good fragrance. There's a reason I wear this one a good bit, because it's just fantastic. It's easy reach, especially for somebody that likes iris, like I do. Number 9 spot, Prada L'Homme Low. Now with number 8, so I haven't put a dent in the bottle really yet. I've only worn out the bottle twice, but I went through 2 Sephora samples like this. This is my most recent one that still has a few sprays in there, as you can see. Dior Homme Sport 2017. The bottle's been sprayed a few times. I actually went through 2 full Sephora samples. I went through one, went back, got another one, which was this one, and went through this one. I was about midway when I got my hands on this bottle and put the sample back down. This stuff is great. I get it. The new Dior Homme 2020, some people like that stuff. I get it. I don't care. I can look past, oh, it's not, you know, don't think Dior Homme with iris. I'm looking at it as a standalone fragrance. I just don't like the way it smells in the dry down on my skin. I have a little 10 milliliter and a small 2 ml sample. I just did a full review on it. I don't care for it. It's not terrible, but I damn sure don't like it. In my opinion, if you want an irisless, a non-iris Dior Homme, this is a fantastic one, in my opinion, the best one that's still in production that you can get easily. Blood orange and sandalwood, 2 most prominent things to me, and it's beautiful. My God, is it beautiful. When I was grabbing this bottle, I actually sprayed it on my hand. It's on my hand right now. Love wearing this one. Very, very versatile. For being a sport fragrance, it has a lot of versatility for warm weather. You can dress this one up, no problem. It has a professional elegance to it for being a citrus heavy woody fragrance. That's a sport flanker, okay? Great. Sample this one if you can. Try it out. Not a lot of people really talk about it much, but you need to try Dior Homme Sport. I've worn it a lot because I love this fragrance. It's fantastic, especially in the hot weather and if you work in a professional setting. Once again, Dior Homme Sport 2017 to current formulation. Next, moving into number 7. I think I may have said Dior Homme was number 7. It wasn't. It was number 8. I don't remember if I did or not because I haven't watched this back yet. Still recording. But number 7 is one that kind of a foundational fragrance for me. It really changed my love and my passion for fragrances when it first came out in the early 2000s. A lot of people still wear it. You can get bottles cheap. It's from Dolce & Gabbana. The original light blue. The original flanker for Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Now, there's flankers of this flanker. It kind of became its own line. But I'll tell you what, man, that pepper, the grapefruit, it's a little marine, and it's got this incense note. This DNA is very distinct. And I love this DNA. I love this fragrance. At the end of the day, for nostalgia's sake, I would take this over the Intense. I love O Intense. That's why it's featured a lot on this channel. That, for most people, is the better buy. I have both. I love both. Situations where I don't need a lot of performance, I'm gonna go with this. When I'm gonna need to spray and go, I'm gonna go with the Intense. You know, when I need it to last me more than 4 or 5 hours, I'm gonna go Intense every time. But short use, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, even 6 hours. Light blue every time, because this thing is fantastic. This is not the first bottle I've had. This is the second bottle. I used to have a 4.2 ounce. This is my little 1.35. And one day I'll run through this and I'll get another 4.2. Ladies love the way this smells. It's highly complimented. It's just a personal favorite of mine. Gets a lot of sprays every year. Dolce & Gabbana, light blue. Next, I actually did a full review earlier in the year on this one. I bought it last year, but didn't give it enough wear. This year, I've worn it a lot more than I did last year. I've started to put a dent in it. And in my opinion, if you're on a budget, this is your way to go for Versace Man Eau Fraiche. Azzaro Chrome Sport. This is great. It just is. Don't get me wrong, if you want Versace Man Eau Fraiche, man, if you want Versace Man Eau Fraiche, you need to buy Versace Man Eau Fraiche. But if you're on a budget, a $20-ish budget, you cannot go wrong with this fragrance. It performs about the same and it smells extremely close to Versace Man Eau Fraiche. This is one of my favorite cheap fragrances. Bang for your buck. Fantastic for the hot weather. I urge you, if you like Versace Man Eau Fraiche, you're running low on your bottle, or you've sampled it and you've been wanting to get it, 20 to 25 bucks everywhere online, 20 bucks in the rack stores. This is a great fragrance. And I wear it pretty regularly for what my rotations tend to be. Regularly for me is several times a year, not several times a month for a fragrance, because I'm always testing something. But I have sprayed this many, many times this year. Number 7 spot. I believe that's what it was. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm sorry, number 6 spot. Azzaro Chrome Sport. Moving into number 5, this is one of my favorite winter fragrances that I continued to wear into the spring. I actually have a backup bottle of this because I wear this one a good bit. That's why this is ranked. This is the 5th most worn of this year. It's another Prada L'Homme fragrance. Prada L'Homme Intense. See, I've actually been wearing low more than the original this year because I love the 3. You know, there's more to the line than just the 3. And if I had to pick one, the Happy Medium's the original, but for the summer I've been wearing low a lot more, and then winter and spring I wore this one quite a bit. That leather, that wet patchouli, whew, man, this is some good stuff. I know a lot of you have it or have tried it and you know what I'm talking about. This is a fantastic take on that Prada L'Homme DNA. Perfect for cooler weather. It's thick and robust. I personally would not wear it in the summer. Anybody can wear anything. Hey, you can 2 spray it, 3 spray it, and get away with it, especially in a climate-controlled environment, you know. But As far as so far this year, and I'm sure this will jump the list higher once it starts to cool off again, because I'm gonna start wearing it again. But midway through the year, this is I've definitely gotten a lot of sprays out of this bottle because I absolutely love wearing this fragrance when it's cooler. And that's Prada Homme Intense. Moving into the number 4 spot, it's the first fragrance I think of when I'm gonna wear a suit, if I have an event to go to, or like in this situation where I worked at 2 different places this year. It was first day both times. This is my go-to. This is a manly fragrance. It's very professional. It smells elegant, boss level to me. Zaharoff, Signature Pour Homme. You can see the dent that's starting to go into that bottle. I love this fragrance. This is good stuff. That's why I talk about this fragrance all the time, because I'm a firm believer in how good this thing is. Whew, man, I have the shave soaps and aftershave lotion and splash and all the products that go along with this, because this stuff is fantastic. There's always a link down below if you want to check it out. The new flankers are coming soon. Pre-sales going on. Make sure you check that out on my Facebook page as well. I shared that link too, or on Zaharoff's website. You can actually go through that link to do the pre-sale on the Noir and the Royale as well. But if you haven't gotten Signature yet, you need to check out Signature. You can order a sample through that link, or you can go ahead and purchase a bottle and get that free charcoal bar of soap as a free gift, because I'm telling you what, everybody needs to try this. At the end of the day, it's all subjective, and not every person that tries this is going to fall in love with it like I have. But if you read countless reviews and watch countless videos, the majority rules. This is a fantastic fragrance, and everyone should try it. And this is going to raise up the list even more as the weather tends to cool off, because I don't really wear it a lot in the high heat. It's more spring, fall, winter for me. But I've definitely sprayed this one quite a few times this year. And that's Zaharoff Signature Pour Homme. Now moving into this top 3, these aren't going to surprise you. You see these ones show up on my weekly rotation on a regular basis. And number 3 is no stranger to that rotation. Nautica Voyage Sport. You see the dent in that bottle. I tend to reach for this one a lot out the shower. I've worn it casually a few times as well. This smells very, very similar to Lacoste Essential Sport. Figured that out when I went hang out with my buddy Steve, Fragrance Fanatic, down in Lake Jackson at his house, and we shot some videos. He had put that in a video we were doing together, and I couldn't pinpoint what it was until we pressed record and we got to that fragrance. It dawned on me. It smells just like Nautica Voyage Sport. So if you had a bottle of that in the past, because that's been around a long time, Lacoste Essential Sport, this is another cheap version of that fragrance. I mean, not that that one's expensive, but this one's even cheaper. Performs about the same, similar smell, aquatic stuff, you know, nothing groundbreaking, but out the shower, I spray this one often. Nautica Voyage Sport. Moving into number 2, I just wore this one last week actually. It started off my weekly rotation video on Sunday. It's my favorite blue fragrance. It's my favorite cheap fragrance that you can get around 20 bucks. It's just for me. Love this fragrance. Salvatore Ferragamo Acqua Blue. This will always make a most worn list for me because wear it a good bit. Man, performs well on my skin. Works in any and all situations. If I can't figure out what else to wear, it's always sitting right here within arm's reach on my desk. Grab, spray, and go. At the end of the day, it just works for me, and it's cheap. And we'll just do that click one more time with it. Love the way that cap sounds. If you haven't tried this one yet, they're very, very cheap. Again, disclaimer, not every single person is going to feel the way I feel about certain fragrances. I love this one. Some people don't get that good of performance on it. I get 8 to 9 hours. Some people don't get that great of projection. It's beyond arm's length for about 2 hours for me. Pretty heavy. I don't know if it's this batch. I don't know if it's my skin chemistry. I don't know if I'm just really excited and it changes the aura when I wear it. But for me, it's hard to beat. Acqua Blue from Salvatore Ferragamo. Number 2 most worn fragrance so far this year. And then a lot of you probably guessed what number 1 is, because it is the fragrance I wear the absolute most. It's always been the fragrance I wear the absolute most. Every time I do this video, this will probably be number 1 if I rank it. Anytime I don't rank it, it could fall wherever. But the fragrance I wear the most, especially so far this year, Nautica Classic. I wear this out the shower on a weekly basis. It's rare. It does happen, but it's rare that it doesn't make my weekly rotation. I love this stuff. I have a backup bottle. I have a vintage, old school bottle of this. It's nostalgic. I've been wearing this since I was a kid. I've been wearing this fragrance since the 7th grade, and I'm 35 years old now. Needless to say, it's a lifer for me, if you can't tell already. Number one most foreign fragrance so far in 2020. Nautica Classic. Well, that's the 10 so far, guys. It's been an interesting year. Some of these you probably expected to see. Some of these may have shocked you. The list will change as the year goes on. We'll recap this at the end of December and see what managed to stay on the list and keep on getting sprayed. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. How many of these do you have already? I can tell you one thing. If you get your hands on any of these and you give them a spray, I'm real confident you'll thank me later, because obviously these are some of my favorites because it's what I've been wearing the most. Have a good one, guys.